I stopped drinking alcohol for this very reason. People don't know this, but I've probably mentioned it twice now on air, but I quit drinking alcohol about a month and a half ago, I think. And part of the reason is when I wore my Whoop and then I had, 1 glass of wine or 2 glasses or 3 glasses of wine the day before, when I woke up the next day, my heart rate variability was like flashing red. It was 30, 40. Typically, on a great day, my heart rate variability is 150, 140, which is strong.
Really strong.
I know this because I compete with my friends. But on a day where I had a glass of alcohol, it'd be flashing red and it would be 40. Also, if I was sick, it would be 40. Also, if I had a really stressful, unslept day the day before, it would also be 40. And the fact that alcohol was causing my heart to respond the same as a awfully stressful, unslept day or COVID, I thought, fuck that. And so that's part of the reason I quit drinking alcohol.
And now that you have brain envy,
you're
going to have a healthier brain if you keep it away. Because alcohol lies to us.
Alcohol lies to us.
Alcohol causes damage in the brain.
Really?
Even a little bit of alcohol causes damage in the brain. It disrupts something called white matter. So gray matter, nerve cell bodies, white matter, nerve cell tracts. So white matter is the highways in your brain that transmit information and impulses. And even a little bit of alcohol has been shown to disrupt the white matter in your brain. I don't want anything messing with the highways in my brain. But I love that you measured it, you made the connection, and then you stopped it. It's a sign of intelligent life because you love yourself.
Mm-hmm. Alcohol. Because there's a lot of people that are sat on the fence right now with alcohol. They probably don't have a really bad relationship with it. They're probably not alcoholics, but they kind of they have it because society is constructed in such a way that on a Friday evening when the waiter comes over and puts down the wine list, you just go, oh, okay, whatever. That's who I was. I was just on the fence. My friend, one of my best friends, was an alcoholic. So I understand why he quit, because he had this really dysfunctional relationship with it that would ruin his life. I'm the type of person that would have 1 drink, 2 drinks, and then I'd maybe stop. I didn't feel the need to have 3, 4, 7, 19. He was different. And also because of that, there was no adverse consequences in my life. So when I went away with him recently, he's writing a book on alcohol and alcoholism. He was telling me about the book and I was going, I personally wouldn't read that book because I don't feel like I have a problem with alcohol. This was before I quit. So I was like, what I would love from a book, this is just me personally, is a book that made the case to people who are kind of sat on the fence that a drink or a beer or a glass of wine, just because, I don't know, society is constructed in such a way where it's hard to avoid. But they could go for a mocktail if someone gave them some performance-based evidence that alcohol, just even a little bit, the casual drinking, actually matters. So this is where you come in, Doctor.
One of my biggest Instagram posts was I told you so. The American Cancer Society came out and said any alcohol increases your risk of 7 different types of cancer. And I've been talking about this for 30 years because I have scans. And people who drink any alcohol have lower activity than people who don't drink at all. And obviously, alcoholics, they have terrible looking brains. Don't do that. But you got to ask yourself why. And remember, we talked about the 1-page miracle. What do you want? Relationships, work, money, physical, emotional, spiritual health. So where does alcohol come in to that? Oh, well, it helps me relaxed. Well, the 15-second breath will help you relax, but there are no side effects to it. That will increase your heart rate variability. Alcohol will decrease heart rate variability and brain function. And if it decreases brain function, it decreases decision making. As a psychiatrist, 30%, 40% of the people I see, they initially come to my office because it's somehow alcohol related. Fight with their spouse, problems with their kids, whatever. I'm so impressed. You noticed the difference with heart rate variability and then you stopped.
Yeah, because I was offensive with alcohol. And it's crazy. And I now understand how difficult it is to stop in our society. I was telling my team, I quit and I went for dinner with a guy called Skrillex. Let everyone know Skrillex. He's a DJ, Sonny. And this was a week after I'd quit. Sat in the restaurant. The waiter comes over, bless him, and he goes, here's the wine list. I go, I don't drink alcohol. He goes and gets a bottle of wine and he puts it next to me and goes, this is not alcohol, this is art. I'm going to leave it next to you just in case you get tempted. And Sonny, to his credit, is telling this waiter, no, he doesn't drink. This waiter's having none of it. And in that moment, I understood how difficult it is to quit in the society that we've built, where every social interaction apparently needs to be fueled by alcohol. And if you say no, you're either weird or someone will try and change your mind or persuade you otherwise. It's just this culture we have.
The evil ruler society. That's an evil ruler strategy. The food pushers, the drug pushers, the alcohol pushers. For me, I look at people like that and it's like, so why do you want me to drink when I don't want to? What's going on with you?
Yeah.
And it usually shuts them down. But why? Interesting question. When you go to a restaurant, the first thing they do is put bread on the table and ask if you want alcohol, because both of them drop your frontal lobes. Both of them make it more likely you're going to order more and spend more money at the restaurant. So the bread is an investment on their part because bread gives you a sugar spike, a blood sugar spike, which then pushes serotonin in your brain and makes you happy. But serotonin drops frontal lobe function. One thing they never tell you when they give you an SSRI for depression is, oh, you're going to become a little bit more impulsive because it's going to drop your frontal lobes. And then alcohol, which also drops your frontal lobes. So you'll drop more cash in the restaurant.
Question then, on this point of alcohol. If I took two people off the street, let's say they do everything in their lives the same, other than what I'm about to say. I gave one of them a casual drink for the next decade. Just maybe 2 drinks a week, 3 drinks a week for the next decade. And the other person was completely sober for the next decade. When you looked at their brain in 10 years' time, if they were doing everything the same, would you see a difference?
Yes. The person who is drinking 2 or 3 times a week will have less blood flow in their brain.
And will that have changed the shape of their brain?
Yes, it'll be a little bit more shriveled.
And then that means their behavior is going to change as well.
They'll have a little bit less impulse control.
And when you look at the brain of an
a little bit less impulse control when you're doing hard things like marriage. Not a good thing. Or raising children or managing a business. It's like you don't want a little bit worse decision.
If you love the Diary of a CEO brand and you watch this channel, please do me a huge favor. Become part of the 15% of the viewers on this channel that have hit the subscribe button. It helps us tremendously, and the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests.